What's up? Are you lost? Are you lost?
Oh, were we? I don't even know I was following her.
Okay, well, I'm not going to offer to help because I just moved here last week. I don't know where I am either, but I've never seen motorcycles out here before. Normally I drive a sport bike, but I just got that one too, so I'm trying that one out. Thanks.
That's nice. What year is it?
It's a 2018.
Wow.
Wow.
That's actually a good picture right there too.
Yeah, I'm gonna record it really quick because I'm gonna tell people about my brand new motorcycle. But now just seeing this makes me wish I was back on my 600s. Well, nice to meet you folks.
You too.
Yeah, have a good ride today. All right, now check this out, bros. If you didn't know, I got a brand new motorcycle. Stopping on the side of the road because it's a good idea. Check it out. I bought this like 3 days ago. It's my first time. Look at these freaking bikes out here, dude. This makes me so happy. I haven't seen a bike here since I moved. I've driving the Jeep. Anyway, this is brand new. This is a 2018 KTM 1290 Super Duke R, or as I call it, Super Duker. I just put Super Duke R together and I call it Super Duker or Duker. If this bike has a name, it's just Duker. Haven't decided if it's a he or a she, but it's a Duker. Anyway, so that's the bike, and this is my first time riding. I did drive for, what was it, like 5 minutes, and I was just trying to drive nice and calm. Hi. I was trying to drive nice and calm and not get like any reactions. I'm also trying to drive crazy because these tires are brand new and slick. It's brand new. It's super torquey. I did drive the last generation of this bike, and I loved it. I'm going to talk about why I got it. But before I get on it, I just want to point out, or, let you look at it, because once I'm on the bike, you're not going to be able to see it. This thing makes you sit so high up, you're probably not going to be able to see the handlebars, but, I think it looks pretty good. But when I look at it, I'm seeing the things that I'm going to change, like, go away, go away, go away, go away, make it more naked. I'm going to get back on here, and man, I gotta tell you how much I appreciate how high it is. I can just do this, boop, and then my feet are flat-footed. And believe it or not, despite how high this bike is, I'm going to make it even higher. I'm going to put a new seat on, but let me just talk about that after I drive. So first, check out those McChicks living the life. All right, so I think it's just you hold this. One more time. Yeah. All right, so this general failure, I think this is from when I tried to turn on the heated grips and it just said general failure. I think it's because that feature isn't unlocked and those bars aren't installed, and I think that's why it says that. I think that, or I'm going to explode, but maybe one of you guys can figure that out. Okay, so what's that car doing? It's not a cop, is it? Let's just pretend it is and that I didn't do anything wrong, so it's okay. All right, boop, boop, sadoop, sadoop. See you later, dum-dum. Not driving crazy, but yo, boy. Woo! Okay, so here's what I have to say after riding it for 5 minutes. Like I said, I rode the older generation of this bike, but not this one. I got very comfortable very quickly. The biggest difference is that I'm sitting so high up and I'm catching a lot of wind and air. That's different, but other than that, it's really comfortable. Now it's in street mode, not sport mode, so that it is withholding power. I just figured I don't need to be, if there's ever a time I'm gonna have limited power when I'm riding it, it's when I very first ride it, because I've never ridden it before and the tires are super slick. So I'm just gonna just be nice and pretty. Don't want to get pulled over, even though this is completely legal. It's insured, licensed to me, blah 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 blah, pay a lot of money. So this video is going to be me ranting and driving in a straight line. I'm not going to be doing anything crazy, unfortunately. I'm going to save it for later for the reasons I explained. It's brand new, and I've never owned a new motorcycle. I've never had to break in a bike before, but I have to do that. This vehicle's break-in point is 640 miles, and I was instructed not to twist the throttle more than halfway, which made me very depressed. But look at this RPM range. I'm doing a good job. I'm sitting right there. All I have to do is keep staying in a high gear, and I'll break it in. It'll be okay. 640 miles is actually not that bad. But anyway, I'm going to break this thing in by driving like a good boy and being extra boring. Now, I'm not going to tell you about my experience riding the last one. I made a video about that, so I'm going to just talk about this one. It can, look at that, traction control coming on, TC. It can go, and I want to, but I got to be tempered, I got to be nice, I got to be a good boy. Speaking of being a good boy, normally I have my map open on my phone. I have not customized this bike at all yet, but I will pretty soon. I need to be able to put a map up here, but I don't have one. I just moved to Maryland here, like, I guess it's been 2 weeks now. I don't know how to get home without a map, so I'm gonna try to get home without it. I bet I can make it, but worst case scenario, I get lost on this bike, and that's not so bad. Today was the best day to go. It's the freaking McWinter. It's like 50 and windy and kind of cloudy. So it could be worse, but I'm gonna try to get home as soon as I can. I'm actually gonna ride my other bike after this, but okay, let me just shut up for a second and gather my thoughts and tell you about this bike. There's another motorcycle. Gosh, this makes me so happy. I'm serious. I have not like ridden. I rode my Ninja 650 here once for like 30 minutes, and that's all the riding I've done here in Maryland. Otherwise, I've been in my McJeep and I have not seen bikes out. It makes me so happy to see bikes. It's like I'm home again. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to tell you is why I got this bike, and this is the video to do it. And then if anything amazing happens with my driving and any experience happens, I can tell you how the bike feels. I'll tell you that too. But first thing I'm going to tell you is why. And this thing is actually surprisingly easy to drive so far, thank goodness. But I'm not going to let my guard down, because this thing could shoot out from under my butthole. Okay, so the reason I got this bike is because of a couple reasons. First thing that prompted my search for a new bike was the fact that I usually get a new bike every year, or not brand new, a different motorcycle, I should say. This is my first brand new motorcycle. I've only ever bought used. I knew I wanted something naked. I've been getting into the naked bikes, and I wanted something more powerful. But I did not want a leader bike, because as beautiful as the Panigales are, Panigale V4 is the best looking bike in the world in my opinion. As amazing as those things are, it doesn't suit my riding needs. I do a lot of riding around town like this. And the second criteria, I'm gonna get used to waving at them because I drive by here a lot. Now the second criteria is my knees been acting up when I ride, and it just hurts to bend it, and I knew that a more how do you say that? More upright bike would be more comfortable, and it is more comfortable, that's for darn sure, all around. So I'm just enjoying that. And as I get older, I care less about speed and looks, more about practicality and function and stuff like that. So I want to go rip it around and explore, but I'm gonna have to hold off on that. I'm not gonna get to do that for a long time. Oh, there's cruise control. Do I dare try fair cruise control? Maybe later. I'm really excited about cruise control. I use it in my McJeep all the time, and I'm really looking forward to going on a really long trip on this motorcycle, and cruise control is delicious. Delicious. This bike has everything electronically. Okay, so anyway, back to reasons why I got the bike. I have to like the way my bike looks, and I happen to think that the trellis and this bike in general looks very good. It's not perfect stock, I don't think any bike is, but I know what mods I want to do to it to make it look almost perfect, almost the way I want. And that's what's going to be happening this next month. Lots of paperwork, lots of shop work. But sorry, there's so much to talk about. I want this video to be really long, but that's all it's going to be. Sorry, I just can't help but ramble. There's so much to ramble about. So I got this bike because I like the way it looked. I like the function. I personally like the way this bike sounds, generally speaking. I don't know how it sounds exactly, but I prefer, like, I don't know if it's just 2-cylinder or 2-stroke. I know there's a difference. I'm just rambling right now. But I like the low note. I like being able to have power around town. I like being able to go fast if I want to, but that's not my priority. My priority is more of like the practicality at this point. And this thing, this is more than you need. That should be a not big surprise. Okay, I have to guess where I'm supposed to go. I think shoot. I'm either supposed to go left or forward. I think I'm supposed to go left. I'm gonna go left. It's so quiet. Guys, I can't wait until it has an exhaust. But anyway, so the reason I got is because this is the bike I wanted. And the reason I got a brand new one is a couple reasons for that. I have to like the way it looks. I wanted it to be black. We only made black in this generation of the 1290 Super Duker in 2017 and 2018, which MA options limited. 2019 didn't come in this color, so 2018 and 2017 is a hard year to get because no one's going to be selling a bike that used around me, and then like finding it brand new would be difficult too because it's an older model at this point. So anyway, I waited until after I moved here to locate one, and the one I located and didn't get too bad of a deal on was in Richmond, Virginia. So I drove all day there and back to get this one. So that's how I picked this one. I hope I answered all the questions about why I got this bike. The only reason I'm driving it right now is because I gotta get it to my place. I dropped it off with my trailer, and that's why it's not where I live right now, but it's about to be. And I was gonna keep it with my trailer because in Kansas, what you would do to get a bike inspected is you would just trailer it in, and they would just look at it and go, yep, and then you got your inspection. But in Maryland, apparently it doesn't work that way. Not only does it have to be off the trailer, they have to drive it, and I'm really bitter about that. I don't want to let someone drive my brand new bike, but I will. So it has to be like this. And I wasn't going to get inspected and licensed and everything until after I got done customizing it, but now I realize it makes more sense just to get that out of the way as soon as I can. So hell yeah, there's a rider over there. So I'm taking it back to my place, and then I'll get it inspected, and then I'll start the mods, and I'll get it licensed and all that paperwork. But while that's going on, I'm not going to be riding it. I'm not planning to ride this much, not until it's done. I'm only riding it right now because I have to. I don't want to enjoy this thing until it's done. The future of this bike entails an exhaust, a nice exhaust. It entails mostly cosmetic mods. I'm not going to do a lot of engine performance because, like, why? This bike is already enough. So the only thing it's going to get performance-wise is, like, that new exhaust. So I'm taking the mirrors off, heated grips, bar ends that have the mirrors, like, out here instead of up here. And then I'm going to paint, have some stuff painted black, get rid of some orange, replace it, black it out some more, as much as I can, in fact. Sweet, I actually know where I'm going right now. This feels good. I'm not terribly lost. Please don't go red. I want to hit the brakes right now, although I'm sure the brakes are fine. They're Brembo. Okay, well, I better slow down because it's not too scary, but I'm just imagining that the tires are going to want to slip at any moment. They don't feel like they are. I'm just trying to be careful. I don't want to crash this thing. Speaking of which, crash bars. I've always had frame sliders. I think protection is like a key customization to do. And while I could get frame sliders, I think the crash bars for this bike look freaking awesome because you have the bars in the trellis going along, and then the crash bars you can get put on here, like extend it, and I just love that cage naked look. So I'm going to put crash bars on here. Moral of the story is it's very important to not crash before then. And then some other little things like I'm going to get the horn changed out to the better one I usually have. I'm going to put a radiator guard on there because it's naked and this radiator is completely exposed. That wouldn't be a bad thing to have on there. Definitely going to remove some stupid freaking fender eliminator, make an integrated tail light, change these lights up here too, the front turn signals, just make it more streamlined, more clean, more naked. Mostly just cosmetic stuff, but I'm really looking forward to it. I'm hoping the goal is for this bike to be pretty unique when it's done. I mean, that's just one thing I love about bikes so much. They have the potential and capacity to be so darn unique. More so than cars, I think. Oh, there's a cop. Are you gonna run me off the road? Okay, no, we're good. Awesome. I've ordered all the parts for this that I want to do in the build, except for the crash bars, because they're much harder to find. Most of the parts for this bike are like in Germany and Australia and the UK and not here, basically. So they're harder to find, at least the exact ones I want. Speaking of parts, I had to wait until like today when I get it to find some other stuff. Excuse me, because I want to have my phone here for maps, and it looks like it's going to have to go on the bar. I had to wait until I got it here in person so I could look at it. It looks like I'll have to do a bar mount. I'm going to do a remote mount for my camera here. Probably going to have to put the phone over there. I prefer it symmetrical, but I don't really see how else to put it. I can't put it here because it'll block. Well, maybe I can. I can probably get away with this. I can probably... Yeah, I don't know. So I had to get in person to see exactly what I have to work with. But look at this freaking bar. This bar gets smaller and then it gets bigger. How the frick am I supposed to find a fitment for this? Anyway, so what I know about this bike from the older generation of this bike is that it's just so well-rounded in that it can, and I'll talk about this later after I've driven a lot more, but it can be a freaking monster. It can be a track demon, but it can also just get you groceries. It can get you from, it can be gentle if you control it. You have to control all the time, but it's not very hard. And it's not like driving, for example, it's not like driving a leader bike down into town and just kind of trying to, this one can do both much better, and it suits my riding style and my well, my change in preference for how things look lately, because I've always liked dressed bikes, but now I just want it naked. Look at these bars, they're so freaking good. Tunnel! That was just a little one, I'm not gonna hurt your engine, we'll break you in nicely. I wish I could show you crazy bike stuff like driving and the way it looks, but I'm just trying to be a good owner. I'm really happy and excited. I just like when this happens. Oh, look, it's a steering stabilizer down there. It's way down there. No wonder I didn't see it. It's awesome. But this is the boring part slash fun part. The paperwork is not fun, but customizing it will be. And once it's done, it is mine. I will drive it like a mamma jam. I can't freaking wait. That's a nasty e-bump. But yeah, follow along, watch over the winter time as I get this thing ready. In the meantime, I still have my beloved Ninja, and I'm really happy. This is mine. I burped, and man, I will talk about it more after I've driven it more, and you'll see more blah blah blah. Leave me and my new bike alone. This is my Super Duker. See yous, bye.